Let me ask you a question. What happens to your business if something happens to you? We all plan that nothing will ever happen to us, but the most important thing you can do in your business the moment you start it is get your estate planning in place and get your exit plan. How are we exiting this business? Because if you don't, the state and our government will decide what's going to happen to your assets in your business. The importance of this and the reason why it's hitting home for me right now is because I always preach it to every single one of my clients. We must get this, we must get this, we must get this. About a month and a half ago, or what have you, I was dealing with a client and I was telling him the importance of this. Healthy guy, very healthy guy, he's a runner. Now, last week he had a heart attack and passed away. And now his business is in limbo. Not only is his business in limbo, now you have a grieving family that has to deal with the business, but now you have employees and their families that don't know what's going to happen or what's going on. And so it's not only about us, it's about the families that we employ and our own families, especially in times of grief and that what have you, everything needs to be lined out. So I got to tell you the importance, you have no idea, and I've had so many clients that don't have exit plans and I have to hit them over the head. Get a will in place. How are you going to get out of this business the moment you start the business or the moment we have contact? So I'm going to tell you again the importance of this because you don't want to have this happen to you because the government is pretty incompetent the way we see it right now and no matter what level you're looking at, and you don't want them to come in. I had a client in California. He backed out of his driveway from work to go get sandwiches at lunch and was T-boned and was killed in his car. He didn't have any estate planning, so the California government came in and they got through the probate. And the only thing that saved this business was the vendors floated his son all the way out until the bank accounts got squared away, until his payables all got all that stuff until he had access to his bank account. But that was because the vendors was a tight-knit community in his niche. They helped him. But right now, if we look at the economy the way it's at, how many vendors are going to float you and help you through this time? So I have to tell you that money makes people do stupid things. We all know that. But get your estate planning in order. Make sure that you have this in order so that your family, your spouse, your children, your next of kin, whatever that is, your partners, don't have to worry about now trying to finalize our lives, but yet trying to work into a business and how that's going to go. Because then if it sits in limbo, we're going to lose employees and think about all those families that we deal with and that we employ, that they're going to be affected by this too. So it's a very selfish act by not having your estate planning in place. It's very selfish for not having an exit plan in place. So estate planning is one thing, exit planning is another thing. The moment you start a business, you want to exit planning, exit planning, exit planning. How am I exiting? When am I going to exit? And all that good stuff. On a story of the exit planning, I can tell you I sat with a client in Nebraska. I sat there with him and his wife. They were 64 years old. I went to them and she was so excited. She had this big look in her face about, man, I can't wait. Brian's going to tell us when we can exit and how much we're going to get for this business. I'm going to tell you right now that there was no way they could exit this business or their business, and they had to stay in the business because one, they didn't save enough money, they didn't invest enough money, and their business wasn't making enough money to even be sellable. So, and then the look on her face was just horrible because you could just see the life being sucked out of her because she thought she was going to get to retire, and the news that they couldn't retire was just devastating to them. So once again, please get your exit planning and estate planning in place. Do it for your peace of mind, do it for you, and make sure you have the life insurance to cover any of these costs. All right, well, thanks for listening. Have a great day and put a smile on your face. Go help somebody.